Available now on Blu-ray from Radiance Films is 1974's Messiah of Evil, a sort of obscure, kind of arty horror film with quite the pedigree creatively. It was co-written by Willard, Huyck, and Gloria Katz, co-directed by them as well, who are names that you may know if you know the George Lucas world. They co-wrote American Graffiti, More American Graffiti, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Howard the Duck. This is by them. This was a film that I first saw this. I did a horror host show for many years called Saturday Fright Special, and we dealt with what we believed, what we knew to be at the time, as far as our research and scuttlebutt and word on the street was, the public domain films, and this was one of them. So I think we probably ran this in our first season of the show. And we always liked it. It was this strange, dreamlike, dark, moody, strange horror film that came out of nowhere that nobody ever really talked about. It's not really had a lot of, never really had very good releases. I think Code Red started putting out good releases a decade or more ago. They put it out on DVD with some extras. They put it out on Blu-ray, and now Radiance has what I think is the definitive version of this film. Looks phenomenal. It's a new 2K restoration. 2K, I believe, but it's a new restoration of the film elements, which don't look like unbelievably good because it's just the limitations of how it was shot, but I've never seen it look this good. It was always a very dark and murky copy that I used to have. And again, I had the co-red versions, but I never watched them. It's one of those things where, what, it's on sale? I'll buy that. I'll throw that in the pile and watch that someday. Never got around to watching it. So it looks great. And what's the story here? Mariana Hill is a young woman whose father has disappeared. She's sort of estranged. He went off to the seaside town, Point Doom, I believe it's called, although I keep wanting to say Point Doom. Are they saying Point Doom? I think that's probably intentional. He's gone off to this town, and he writes her a letter saying, you know, things are strange here and things aren't so good here, and you probably aren't going to hear from me again. And she decides to go off and find out what's wrong. She finds out that this town has this legend where 100 years earlier or something, this blood moon came in the sky and everybody turned into cannibals or something like that. And it's just this legend, and it's an old crackpot story. Crackpot story backed up by this town drunk portrayed by Elisha Cook Jr. And a story that is being investigated by this Michael Greer, this man, young erudite man, and his two female companions, portrayed by Anitra Ford, who was one of the early Barker's beauties on Price is Right, and she was also one of the stars around the same time of Invasion of the Bee-Girls, and Joy Bang, which is literally her name. I used to see her name in the credits of films, and I thought, she must be one of those adult actresses, but apparently that was her real name and married name, and it was supposed to be pronounced differently, but B-A-N-G in America spells bang. So anyway, this guy and these two ladies who are kind of weird are trying to find out what's going on with this blood moon story, and is it going to happen again, and what's going on. And Mariana Hill is just looking to find her father, and it becomes this strange, often nocturnal journey through this quiet seaside town. Very reminiscent in vibe to me of films that would come later. It reminds me of Night Tide a little bit, which came before, but it reminds me of Dead and Buried and The Fog a lot. And scenes of just like abandoned nighttime areas, a gas station at night, very strange scene that occurs there. A supermarket at night, very weird and memorable scene there. A movie theater, a great old movie theater at night, an old Fox theater, which is gorgeous. And strange things happen there. One thing happens there that's actually used by the Alamo Drafthouse as one of their don't talk PSAs. So some people who are Alamo regulars may actually know a little bit of this movie. And it's just really atmospheric and quiet and kind of poetic and just good. It's an interesting tidbit about the cast. There's an opening sequence where a man is like on the run and something bad happens to him, and then you get the credits and the proper film starts. That man is Walter Hill. Before he did things that everybody knows, like, you know, The Warriors and 48 Hours and all that stuff, he was a bit player in Messiah of Evil. So, well, what do we want to say about what are the extras in this film? We have, let me just look at my notes here. We have a commentary by Kim Newman and Stephen Thrower. Their commentaries are always great, individually or collectively. That's fascinating and interesting and fun to listen to. We have Willard Huyck projection booth interview from a few years back. It's a 37-minute audio interview. We have What the Blood Moon Brings, Messiah of Evil, An American Nightmare. 57 minutes. It's a new documentary with Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, Maitland McDonough, and other critics and fans of the film discussing the film and its place in American horror and what it says about the America of the day. And it's kind of high-minded, and that's great because I love when smart people talk about movies in smart ways, smarter than I usually do. And that's cool. One of those documentaries that's almost as long as the film. And then you get a Kat Ellinger visual essay discussing American Gothic and female hysteria, and that's 22 minutes. And that's very intelligent. Her stuff is always really cool and interesting. Look at the film itself and the film in the larger context of the hysterical or crazy female losing her mind genre. So very cool movie, very good movie. It's one I've been looking forward to this release specifically for a long time, because I feel like when Radiance puts something out, Radiance is like Arrow is like Synapse. Once they touch something, I'm done. Unless they put it out again in 4K, I think I'm probably done with this. So we have, what does that look like? We have the packaging here, and they have their traditional OB strip that's inserted inside the sleeve, so you can take that out if you don't like it obscuring the artwork front. So really cool, evocative image on the front that does relate to the movie, and the back is just a little bit more information. Cracker open, and you've got the reversible sleeve, which replicates the artwork, original artwork for this movie. It's the artwork that Code Red had sort of used when they did theirs. And it also comes with a nice booklet with some information on the cast and some decent photos taken from scans of the film, and a single essay on the film, which is Some People Do Like This Brand of Art from 2023 by Bill Ackerman. So this is a really good release of a really good movie. I heard tell, I'm not 100% aware of this, I heard tell that there were multiple versions of this available on Blu-ray, and that one had like a more of a book, more thicker book. I don't know. That's the one I was sent, but I'm more than happy with this. So available now on Blu-ray from Radiance Films is the very, very interesting and cool 1974 horror film Messiah. And Royal Dano's in it, by the way. I like Royal Dano. It's one of the rare occasions where Royal Dano doesn't play like a weird prospector or a creep. Messiah of Evil.